So many things, so many things. Booyaka, booyaka, booyaka. We started it. This is the Gatekeepers Musically Speaking Podcast, GKMSP, Season 2, Episode 10, mine. Premiering Tuesday at 9 p.m. Verbal Vayne in the vicinity, Mary in a moment, and Shaman in the sector. If you're new to this channel, do a drive-by shootout on that subscribe button. You can't miss it, and click in the bell for notifications. Check out previous podcasts to comment and join the conversation. Yes, GKMSP brought to you by Creatives. Yes, men with ideas, blood. Yes, brethrens, comrades, what did we do this week, man? So many things, so many things.
I go first.
Kama kawaida bwana. Acha kuuliza maswali ya training.
Okay, see, I think it's been an interesting week. This week, I mentioned the album, Thomas Hype's album. Yeah. So it was released within last week. So been doing some promo stuff from the start of the week. Yes, some cool songs on there. Yeah, guys should check it out on YouTube. Yeah.
I heard you did like 4 songs.
Yeah. I contributed to 4 songs.
In what capacity, Mari? Chadua, man. Yeah.
And so I came up with a chorus for 3 of the songs. Yeah, 3 of the sonos.
On a script Mado Nasama, because you seem to be reading from something.
Yeah.
You've written your mind down.
No, it's all in my head.
You're reading from your mind.
Cramming.
8 for 4.
Yeah. So I think I wrote 3 of the choruses, and 2. Was it a verse and a bridge for one of them, and the 4th one I provided additional vocals, like on the hook.
The information is very important. What was figuring to waste time?
Yeah,
because I know some people out there who have been writing songs.
Yeah.
If you have an experience unaendanga studio unaambiwa tu, by the way unakuwa umeiva hook, ebu drop hook. And then you go home and sleep.
Yeah.
Hey, brother, umechezwa.
Yeah.
Unaposikize mari akuchanue Monday.
Yeah. I think it's good for guys to know, like when you contribute to a song, to know what role you're contributing, and also to be in a position to discuss the terms. Either before or during the working of the song, so that you understand your contribution and understand,
what rights you're likely to get from it, like the
royalties
or percentages.
Yes, yeah.
You know, it was split shit. Wadau, umesikiza.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That this is
we're here to save Monday. We're here to save Monday. Those are the breadcrumbs you get today.
Yeah.
Thank you and you're welcome. You had.
Yeah, sure. It's an interesting thing that people, I think Kenya is now adapting towards, or guys are getting the information and starting to work towards. But I've interacted with so many people that don't understand the first bit of it. So,
it's important. It's important.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, my week, I think that was about it.
Holy shit, man.
What?
Yeah. Oh, I also had an issue with Airtel. Oh my goodness. Maybe I'll talk about that later. But hey, man, our telecommunication services, man, need to up their games,
Watu wanaibiwa. This week for me musically, we still pushing the project Sikio na Pua. Oh no, it's Dave na Pua.
Yeah. You forgotten your own.
Devon is by Lex and Shaman. We're working on this joint project, and hopefully we can be able to lure in some intellect, some big thick tanks. Akina Mari watuambie ni rights gani hizo tunafaa kuitisha pale, unajua. We talk about the sure. Sheet and keep it right, we get it right from the get go. So we've done a song with Lixel now. We're trying to come up with a better packaging, and we're talking about packaging si karatasi. Mazena scan card beva mask throughout. What's happening?
When mtu like shades, then ukitoa you still feel like you have them on.
Yes, I have that feeling. It keeps haunting me. This is not right, is it? Mask unaweza ibeba ukienda choo.
Kuna second lockdown pia ina come through, man.
Oh shit.
What?
Juke, you better get your wakili junior shit right. I hope ulilipa liko fee, bro.
Nowadays I don't. Me just wear the mask to get caught. I don't care about no damn disease, blood.
It's
unaogopa polisi kuliko corona.
Oh man.
By the way, Delios.
So that's what's happened this week. So Project Ikomoto say we want track down. The track is hot. Hopefully we'll get a preview probably when Barry gets the branding right and the packaging. Thank you.
Okay.
Awesomeness. This week I'm still animating, man. Just made the second character. Save the pangolins, man. That's like one of the only mammal with scales, man.
Wait, you said save
the pangolin. Imagine no one knows about that animal, man.
Is it the one that has like a hard shell and looks almost like spikes?
Yes. People like to window that stuff with scales, man. At it. You know the thing is, the scales are still made of keratin. You can get keratin from elsewhere. So you go, you start hunting pangolins, you start reducing their population. You're decreasing the biodiversity. And now it's almost like the same thing like when hornets goes and they start killing all the bees. That is going to be dangerous for a lot of things, for the plants, for the animals. Save the pangolin. There's a character. The second character is called Pangol. It's called Pango actually. He's pangolin. Anakaka Sonic the Hedgehog, but he looks green. So that's the character I've been making this week. Trying to make them move and jump and stuff like that. Still working on Ultraband. By the way, I need some of those songs again.
Bro, because why did you take them?
Kuna anime I've been drawing some scenes, so animation kama kawa blood. So
that's what's up. That's good stuff, yeah.
What is this Gengetone stuff that I'm not even? There's the Gengetone Festival.
Gengetone Festival. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Shaman, maybe you could tell us about it.
Why do you have to point to Shaman? It's not that I'm a Gengetone activist.
If you've watched it, at least you have better sound and sight to review it.
True. Yeah. Now, the worst part about this is that I hear there's elites in Gengetone. I don't know if the word has lost meaning. But anyway, so I wake up in the morning and I see Willis Raburu, the latest up and coming artist in Kenya.
Oh my goodness. He's an artist now?
Yeah, he's an artist.
Oh, okay. What kind of artist? Might I ask?
And what was that stuff on his head, man?
I just saw that on a photo.
Ilikuwa inakaka hizo makricha za alien yenye inakam it covers your face, sucks your brains out, man. Like a giant caterpillar or something, man.
You're openly abusing and disrespecting the OGs.
Some kind of bioorganism.
Okay, like I think let's first get a few facts right.
But it's good to rebrand and look. That's what musicians do. That's how musicians stays, relevant is it, so to say. But putting creatures on your head.
It's lack of imaging, if you'd say. You need to use the right terms. Because from what he said, rant yake ya Instagram. I don't know if to call it a rant.
Kwani he ranted?
Okay.
Yeah, it's social media, bro.
What was he ranting about?
Akisema vile wasanii wa genge tunafaa kulipwa, you know?
Yeah.
Because they also have bills and they have responsibilities just like the rest of them.
Wait, what do you mean wanafaa kulipwa?
Kwani was organizing?
Like you mean they didn't get paid for
They got deposits zenye walilipwa
Okay.
in early this year kwa sababu event ilikuwa inafaa kuapa alafu corona ikakam, unaona?
Yeah.
So ikakuwa postponed. Sasa ndio ilikuwa ile happen jana. Na hiyo jana nasikia sawa wako perform kwa sababu wako wamelipwa hiyo difference kabla waingie kwa stage. Walikuwa wamesikizana.
Okay.
So hata mamadeja zao walikuwa kwa scene wanapigishwa makona, wanaambiwa wangoje paka tikozi hesabiwe poa ndio wafanye balancing alafu watapatiwa my balance zao. Yeah, so that was the whole rant, and so Willis Raburu was disowning this thing. He was saying it's not his event.
Yeah.
If you look at the bottom of the poster,
Yeah.
you will see the official event sponsors who should be blamed in case of such turnouts.
So what's on the poster?
Yeah.
The poster ni mwana nani? Events 254 events. Gigs
254.
Yeah, gigs 254, something like that.
I wonder who owns that gigs 254.
Maybe someone should
I've
tell
also
us.
never heard of
Probably.
it. It sounds like some new organization.
It sounds like there are new guys in town. Remember when the Teenese thing came up? You know, the Buzz magazine, the Fat magazines. That were like small little reach outs for the mainstream
Good
newspapers.
times, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, good times for local music.
Yeah.
Terms like an insider.
Yeah, you know, those kind of events. I feel they should come back. So when I see people like 25 events, gigs 254, you know, they're like, I'm sure like the management of, for example, Black Market, because they are the same guys who signed most of these artists.
Yeah.
So I imagine they want to revive the industry.
Yeah.
So when such things happen, and the main outlet seemingly is Willis Raburu, who seems to be conflicted between kuwa msanii, kuwa MC na kuwa
okay, he media personality.
Yeah, he's a media personality. So he has self-anointed himself as the representative of the Genge, which is not bad because he has this, so to say, hot 10 over 10 events that the youngins come and, you know, they showcase their stuff.
Yeah.
And so if you listen to his rant today anyway, he was all about the Gengetone artists need to be respected, which was echoed by X-Ray. You know, one of those guys who was saying some of the artists never even had transport to go back home.
Yeah, or X-Ray is the Taniwa guy.
Yeah, I think he's got skills, you know. He's got skills.
Yeah, he has that trademark.
Yeah, I hope I'm a copyright. Jusa hiyo ndio vako. We were talking about ownership in the previous episode, and we were talking about how people should know what they need to get from whatever it is they're doing.
And a lot of fraud. There seems to be a lot of fraud in this situation also.
Wasa waku perform. That's an event, like an event that was
should be
organized.
an investigation, man.
Yeah.
Because unaweza stukia maybe even Willie is the one who is connected to these 254 events. He could be even the owner, blood.
Don't be surprised, which is not a bad thing. But legally speaking, of course, you know, events 254 and Willis Raburu are two separate things. So there's no way it can be him, even if he could be the sole director. You know, those two things are different.
Yeah.
I agree with him.
So apparently now they are going to Narok again.
Yeah, there's another follow-up event I've seen there in Narok. Oh, maybe they've been there. I don't know. Barry can clarify. Take away. Next time.
No, I don't know much about I haven't gotten much information on the festival. In quotes, festival, but from what I'm hearing and what I've seen so far online and stuff, I think there seems to be a lot of confusion. And let me start with the main man there, Willis Raburu. And you know, no disrespect, but you know, I think sometimes you have to call things as they are. He's a well-known media personality and has established his brand as a media personality. And now I've seen he's I saw on one of the articles he was featured on the, I think it was the Buzz on Sunday Nation, and he was talking about starting an entertainment farm or label, something of the sort. Now, then again, I also saw he was being quoted as saying he's terming himself as an upcoming artist.
Yeah.
I think people, when we're talking about artists being respected, even the process of becoming an artist needs to be, say, respected and appreciated. And from the way he's moving, it seems like he doesn't appreciate what it takes to build an artist brand.
Why would you say that? Why would you say that?
Because he's terming himself as an artist. Okay, say, for example, what kind of artist is he?
DJ Khaled kind, if there's such a thing.
DJ Khaled terms himself as a producer stroke DJ. So again, I ask, what kind of artist is Willis Raburu? Now you see, the mere fact that you have to think about it that long shows you where the gap is. Now the same person advocating for artists to be respected is disrespecting, in quotes, the process it takes to be an artist. And again, I'm not saying that he may not be doing that intentionally, but him doing that, for example, may show other artists or other aspiring artists that you can just wake up one day and decide to be an artist and become an artist. But the truth behind it is, it takes a process. And understanding that process is part of appreciating the industry and appreciating the process of becoming an artist. You can't wake up one day and declare yourself a doctor, right?
True.
You have to do, say, they call it the 10,000 hours.
Yeah.
That, I think that applies for every industry and applies to the entertainment industry too. I'm sure he didn't just wake up one day and declare himself a media personality, right?
True.
He went through a process, and that's why he has that name. Let me bring a bit of comparison to Jalango. And Jalango seemed to have taken the same process, but I think the only difference is he didn't declare himself a music artist. He's a comedian stroke media personality. But he hasn't, and he's say an artist manager. He's playing the role of an artist manager, which that again we could go a bit more into that. But for the sake of this scenario, the difference between him and Willis Raburu at the moment is Willis Raburu has declared himself an artist, which is disrespectful to the art process or art form. So again,
And you say
when you say
without any fear of contradiction whatsoever.
Shots fired.
yes, it is. I'm pointing out gaps in information that the industry needs to take into account while, say, building. Because right now the Kenyan industry is in its early stages of becoming a full-fledged music industry. True. If you're being realistic, yeah.
True.
And it is, if we don't point out this kind of should I say gaps or misconstrued information, then people will go on doing the same things, thinking they're doing the right thing.
It's funny that you say that.
Yeah.
Given from knowledge comes power.
Yeah.
And from power comes ability. And that's what women will like to say, resources. They like a man with resource. So if you have knowledge of something, for example, now let's look at this scenario again, Gengetone. festival and all those inconveniences, so to say.
Yeah.
So you hear a story that manager alikuwa pia kwa ground, anajaribu kusikizia event organizers balance iko wapi, because the curfew is coming up and the government will not listen because you don't even have a letter to show that you are in an event. Now, my thinking is this. These guys are portrayed to seem like they know what they're doing. Good. The young boys were apparently signed by a record label, right? And they were all announced by the same media, right? So everything is okay until that point, right? So when an artist says that hata fare ya kuenda hawakuwa nayo, na kuna manager kwa scene anakimbisha balance ya dipo ndio ingie kwa stage, you see, it begs the question then, what were the terms of the agreement? Mulikubaliana wapi? Was it on the street?
I'm probably sure they didn't even sit down in a conference room.
No, it sounds like a haphazard thing, you know, like I will pay you, balance ukiingia kwa stage. So I don't know, like at what point do you make sure, like, okay, do you confirm zimeingia? Then I'm inside, you know, then you're given the microphone or what, like, and if that's the case, then that's very absurd. Because that is very, you can't claim that we are like this, we are civilized to compare sini wajanja tuna hustle nini na bado unachezwa hiyo design, like you have to chase your balance so you can perform, like yo nigga what nigga what kwani manager wako ni mtu aina gani hata yeye ni kazi hana okay, what if msilipo hiyo siku hauja perform, you've wasted time, you wasted resources, so to say. So by the time you are said you're being signed, who's supposed to take care of such things? Do they give you a manager? You know? Do they give you a team? Do they pay you up front? At what point do you collect your money?
And you see, partially, I think that's partially why I was bringing up the Jalango and Willis Raburu comparison. And as I pointed out now, since that has come up, I pointed out even the way Jalango is doing things. And I'm not criticizing, I'm only trying to point out gaps in information. We've talked about going to stage and what the process of going to stage and performance involves. And one of the things I think we've discussed in one of the episodes is, say, performance contracts. And I think we even mentioned this because I've written an article on it too. The role of an artist rider in a performance contract. And you see, whenever you hear cases of things like, say, Hakwana transport, there was no transport wasn't provided. That normally indicates that, first of all, that was not included in an artist rider, and I think that is one of the basics of an artist rider. So, and maybe for those who may not know what an artist rider is, it's part of the performance contract that defines the agreements or arrangements that each party expects from the other.
Preach, brother, preach.
So
I'm pretty sure it was a horrific experience for the people viewing. Since yesterday was Halloween. Was it yesterday?
Oh, see.
What a horrific.
Funny thing to say that Machakos festival happens to fall on the same date as Halloween. That is celebrated elsewhere.
I think.
Don't you think those go hand in hand nicely? Don't you think that coincidence is very convenient?
Gengetone is a horror show.
I think I've seen the Halloween
concepts being done here.
I think it's sort of gaining traction, maybe because of Western influence.
It's a new trend.
Yeah, it's fairly
But it has
new.
been
Sisi
there-
hatukugrow
it has
up.
been there for a long time. Like the
But-
Mexicans used to do it.
But it
Yeah,
is
like
more,
locally.
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 I don't know how many people dress up and go for Halloween.
I think guys,
Yeah,
it's
like,
a cool thing,
yeah,
It's what
say-
glorification of the dead or the scary or horror.
Something like that. I think
Yeah.
the background of Halloween would surprise you, Juke.
Yeah.
Especially, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you should check it out in your own time.
Yeah.
But I think
so that you don't make you blunder again, get on us.
It could be like a combinations of different cultures, but mostly it's like
You see,
you remember like there's terror, human emotions.
Of
So
course.
it's
Yeah.
once in a year at least you celebrate it all.
Yeah.
Juke, I insist. You might need to look into that so that, so that you
They
can-
vary. Imagine in Mexico, some of them go and they remove their dead relatives.
Yeah, I think
For Mexico, they call it something else. It has another name. But then days where like the origin started from those days of executing guys on the temple, like madness, the Mayans and the Aztecs. So they have a very strong connection to the dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
they have those.
So it's really cool. It's really cool. There are some places in Thailand, they uproot. Imagine you go and get your grandfather out of the grave.
Oh my goodness.
Dress him in a suit.
and walk with him.
Yeah, and then parade him around. Yeah.
Oh man,
crazy,
like
man.
they get the actual bodies and
Yeah, blood.
okay.
Freaky stuff. Anyway. We were still on Gengetone.
And Gengetone in a boy design. Siko baya, but honestly speaking, I don't think Gengetone for one is a bad thing because we so desperately need an identity, and if Gengetone would provide that, I don't care.
Yeah.
Let it be called Bigutupu or something, but equal identity, bro, it's very important.
Yeah.
But if to look at it again, you realize we are not in control of this shit. You see?
Gengetone is something that can make you disown your country. Are you a Kenyan?
Actually,
Yes. Do you do Gengetone? No, I'm not a Kenyan. Actually, I'm not a Kenyan.
But even if you're thinking about it strictly speaking, what are the origins of Gengetone? I think we mentioned this at some point.
Yes.
Like it's basically a South American concept, maybe being localized. So in essence, we are importing an identity, which maybe I would pose the question: who is it favoring?
Or who's doing the importing?
Maybe an even more interesting question.
You, when you say it like that, I remembered something. I had a very funny conversation yesterday with a random guy. So I'm at this second-hand shop, and some guy comes, and I'm told he's the owner of the shop. So there's something I'm trying to get from that place, and hey, Juju. So I try and speak to this guy.
Bargain.
Hey, we ended up speaking about politics, and he said some things that caught my attention, and I think Mari would enjoy to hear them. So let me share them here for the first time.
Okay.
He said, how do you expect a document that has come from someone who has lied to you your entire life that it will save you from your abject poverty and separation? So I asked him, who are you referring to? Because
oh my goodness,
because as far as I'm concerned, all politicians are seemingly in agreement, and I am straight and narrow. 9 to 5. I do a 9 to 5. So the kind of conversations we have kule si zenye tunaongeanga huku nje, unajua. So I tell him, you see, Ruto said he's giving out wheelbarrows because that is where Kenyans are feeling hiyo kiatu inafinya hiyo section sana. And he said if the same person can have two different conversations on the same thing, then there's a problem, and we need to talk about that problem. That was his selling point. He said mdosi anaona wheelbarrow useless, maskini kule chini wheelbarrow ni maisha, Let's not talk about the agendas to that. Raila says the BBI is good, for us.
Yeah.
Uhuru supports him, that is good for us. Let's not delve so much into some silly references and go straight to the point. Umesema, who does it benefit?
Yeah.
It benefits nobody other than the people who are in power, who have always been in power. All right? So, BBI, as of yesterday, it dawned on me that tunachezwa.
Yeah.
And every time...
What extent have you researched on it?
Bro, there's no research that you need to do on the BBI unless you're just a conspiracy theorist.
Kindly share.
So, they've expanded the executive. They've made more seats for more people in the power to come to power. And they've made like a supervisor of the judiciary.
Yeah.
Okay? Because in the interest of time, let's talk about those two for today. The next episode will be another two. So number one, this president comes with a prime minister who is powerful, a powerful prime minister, right?
Yeah.
And then a ceremonial president. Okay? So ideally, we don't need a president, true?
Yeah.
Because we have a prime minister, right?
Yeah.
And then they increased the number of MPs. Okay.
Yeah.
You can see it, right?
Yeah.
And then they said, a president shall appoint an overseer of the judiciary to make sure that the spirit of the Constitution is upheld and that Kenyans get justice.
Yeah.
Okay, I will repeat that for the benefit of those who think my position on this is misconstrued. The president will appoint someone who will officially be the prefect for the judiciary. Then tell me, or as it is, it's bad enough, right?
Yeah.
It's a mess, man.
It's bad enough. So there will be someone who ukishikwa you can speak to directly, and your things change, your life changes, you know?
Yeah.
Wanakuhanda, unajua wanataka kushika nini. He calls and that stuff is left alone, you know?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. My goodness. Now, when you change perspective like that, when I changed my perspective yesterday, nikiambiwa these guys have been in power and there's no way they're going to help you with a document, a simple document, you see. Then he asked me, for example, what power does Raila wield that is so strong, but he lacks the ability to uplift the people in Kibera? Hata tu kuwapatia choo. Si kujenga choo. Kuwapatia choo.
Even incentives on hygiene, you know.
You know?
Yeah.
Bro,
So many, even small society things like being a clean place, you know. It starts from somewhere, like even stopping guys from, building, what are these called? Funny structures.
next to the river. You see, when he said that, that's when I realized, like, maybe we are all in a freaking show. You know, it's showbiz. It's just showbiz. we are so busy. Yani showbiz. How can Raila be so upheld? Bro, he has been an MP in Kibera. An MP in Kibera for so long. For so long. Kasa hii yako kwa gava. Si yako inje. Then he told me, these guys throw parties for their wives. Parties that cost millions and millions. Yet, watu Kibera wanakunia kwa karatasi wanarusha juu. People don't have clean water. People don't have access to basics.
Security.
Like, what is that? What is that? What kind of fuckery is that? You will ask me, what kind of power does this guy have? Now, people love him. People love him. So it's the same thing. We're complaining about a government on one hand, and there's Gengetone. We're saying he's such a bad, so to say, label to go with, like the identity is not right. But is it not the same principle? Because here I think we're talking about principles, right? And so, Gengetone as it is, it's supposedly the Kenyan music, right? From Willis
New age.
From what Willis was saying, he said even Nigerians took note of Gengetone in Kenya. because these guys put Kenyan music back on the map.
Yeah.
You see, no. Let's give them the right, you know, man, because these guys are pulling crowds and shit. And if you see the numbers online, their numbers make sense. You see, their numbers make sense.
Yeah,
we've all agreed before that the music is okay, but the branding, the imaging needs to be better. Okay, it would be very good if we have our own bongo music, our own Afro. You know, like Nigerians came with Kadongo Kamu, and all of a sudden it was a hit. Man, we used to hear that shit in Uganda all the time. You know, it was played here in Kenya. Walikuwa wanasema yani hiyo muziki ya ushamba, wakaita benga. You know, they called it other names, which it was still so suppressed. You know, if you go to live events, I think here in Kenya alone, the experience, for example, of Black and White is totally amazing, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. Those are local guys who are playing in those bands, okay? And it's not that they copy paste the beat. It's they listen and they play the music, right?
Yeah.
And it sounds proper. Like I enjoy that performance than hearing the song on radio. Yeah. Most of the times. Yeah? Because why can't we push that music? Production on that same level? Because it's all about production, right? It's all about production. You know, the arrangement, the word, the composition. We push it on that level instead of saying Gengetone now, no, and then what else? If not Gengetone, what else? Because these boys, remember, they're waking up in the morning. They're doing this shit. If you know, it's a lifestyle. We agree, right? This music thing is a lifestyle. That is the lifestyle wanapewa. Kumbuka wanapewa hiyo lifestyle. Because most of them umesikia wana transport. So the lifestyle wanapewa. How about we take responsibility ourselves, right? And be the example, for example, that we would like to see in the industry. I was talking to Juke earlier, and I was hey bro, I think we should put up an event, you know, like stage an event, maybe our own music, because we don't need to do complicated shit. We know what it is. It's just a few gimmicks here, there, and voila, you have an awesome event. But you can sing. We can play something here. We just put something together and
we do something like the Roots, man.
And when we showcase, like, and we give credit where it's due, you know, like the sound engineer. We tell people what it takes to put a show together, so that seti mnaenda kwa stage, mmepewa mic moja, mko wase wanne, you know, those funny things. The sound, the feedback is too much. Such that to turn out like a whack MC. You know, there's nothing as bad as being on stage and then the feedback is just killing even the old fans. They're like, you know? Atafu napewa mzinga. And you go back home. We need to show what it is. We need to display. We need to put that stuff to show. I don't know. But,
and I think maybe to take it from the top, the disconnect between say the industry or what needs to happen and what actually happens is so big that I think there's two different say I don't like to use this terminologies, but for the sake of arguments I think I will. There's two different classes of people living two different lives, and each one so diverse that there is no bridge in between. And for example, when you were talking about the BBI issues, part of the reason why I think I feel a disconnect with politics is because a lot of times when you hear politicians speak, they are so out of sync with what is happening in the ground. To some extent, they look like comedians when talking about issues.
They are comedians.
Yeah, because they don't understand what the common mwananchi is going through. So they try to project and, you know, like fill in, maybe ask around, and based on that misconstrued information, they try to implement say policies, which of course again we will go again into what favors them and what not doesn't favor them, which I think is a whole nother debate, which I don't want to go into right now. But I was trying to point out that disconnect, and now bringing it into the industry. There's so many people who have joined the industry but do not understand the processes involved. So people do things, and people get, let me even just point out some thing. People get played and used to drive other people's agendas, possibly because they don't know what it takes to get somewhere. For example, I don't mean any disrespect to anyone. When you're talking about the Gengetone artists and kids, a lot of times you see, like, even in the big artists out there, the mega stars, a lot of people don't go and do this kind of research. But by the time you see someone in the limelight, there's normally so many years gone by of them being underground. Now, if we come here locally, where is that underground scene that people stay years? Then you hear someone coming up and say, hey, like that guy did his time. There's, when you're talking about Gengetone, sorry to say, there's probably 0 or 99% of them haven't gone through that.
But what is wrong with coming and making it, bro?
There's nothing.
For too long.
There's nothing wrong. But you see, as you said, knowledge is power. If you go through the process, it's like going to school again. I gave this illustration, I think the last episode. Going to school, and you say you go from class 1, then jump to form 4, and expect to compete with people who have gone through class 1, 2, 3, 4, followed every process, and expect to compete with them at the same level. See, there'll be so much information, and you see that, as I said, knowledge is power. That information, for example, we're just mentioning here performance contracts, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of Gengetone artists, when they hear the term performance contract, it will be like a mind-blowing thing. And I'm not saying that that is wrong, but it takes a certain process for you to figure out or encounter that information. And not just encounter it, but engage with it.
Experience it.
Yes. So if artists don't go through those kind of processes, we'll keep on saying that this artist has made it big, in quotes, but they have nothing to show for it. Why? Because they are being used. And again, I'm not trying to tread on any toes,
No shade whatsoever.
I'm trying to uplift the artists. The people are talking about respecting the artists. I think this is what it means to respect artists. Understanding the process and going through it, so that by the time you're engaging with certain things, you know what to do and know what goes where. And for people to stop crying that they're being creamed and they're being used, or they're being not being paid.
That term, to be creamed.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
I'd like us to just elaborate.
Okay. Yeah.
What does it mean, Barry?
I think it's
creamed.
My understanding is
it, let me just ask. Let me finish the question.
Sure.
Is it possible?
Yeah. What?
Is it possible?
Yeah.
That you mean when guys are getting fucked?
Oh, dude. Oh, my goodness. Get your mind off the gutter.
It's pretty much the same situation.
No,
Isn't it, bro?
Yeah.
You know,
No, the terminology,
Yes,
as
indeed.
far as I understand it, means not getting the value for your worth. I don't know. I don't know where you've gotten some other.
if anyone has interacted with some porn sites,
Yeah.
they would understand when you say when you're getting creamed.
Dude,
It would be very bad. It's a very offensive name. But
get your mind off the gutter.
I'm being serious, bro.
But for a genre like Gengetone, it makes sense, man.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense when they're being creamed.
Do not misquote me. I did not have any.
That's how is that how you misquote politicians? Alisema creamed. Sikumaanisha cream.
Back to
Getting creamed.
No, the more important information. A lot of these issues, see, for example, people trying to organize shows and say don't have proper experience in what getting a organizing a show involves.
Yeah, and then to go further, they've called it a fest. It's a Genge Fest.
Part of one of the things that has really been
Fire Festival for Kenya. It will be the Kenyan Fire Festival. Anybody know about Fire Festival? Jarul and this millionaire tried to plan a huge festival on an island somewhere in the Caribbean. They marketed the shit out of that stuff. They put millions into it. They're like, at this festival is going to have rock artists, it's going to have rappers, it's going to have accommodation, it's going to have so many things. When guys got there, they realized it was a fraud. Wanawekea tu matents, hizi matents za homeless people. Yes, we are going to sleep. No accommodation, no food, no nothing. They are just in this Caribbean island, they don't know what the hell they are doing. And the Fire Festival, it never even went down. It was like the most biggest fraudulent festivals like 2 years ago. Even the millionaire is in jail now, man.
What? Oh, that's crazy.
But I think.
And I think maybe some things that we need to clarify about the industry is getting into the industry. If you've been in it for a while, there's a lot of say unscrupulous activities that happens, and it's not limited to things happening locally. But then again, when we're speaking of the local industry, a lot of the, say, fraudulent activity happens not because people are being played so much as it is people not having the right information.
It's lack of knowledge. It's lack of knowledge and the ignorance, and I think that's why they're promoting a lot of marijuana smoking, even in the public. You see, it's not bad to take in the herb, right? But it should not be a reason why you don't function as a human being.
Maybe I would say I think it maybe goes a bit deeper than that, because you pointed out something which I've had an issue with for so long. Is the usage of the term festivals here in Kenya.
What is a festival actually? Because people performing, that's there's more to a festival.
Yes, I think that there's a difference between an event and a festival. Even a series of events doesn't necessarily translate into a festival. And I'm not saying that I have the proper definitions of a festival.
Woodstock, that's a festival.
Or there's so many.
Like you have a place where they 5 bands all at once, 5 stages actually.
Tomorrowland. At one point even Blankets and Wine tried to
extend.
To extend, but somehow it didn't work out. And
it would be planning
now here's the thing. Probably that's probably the closest we've come to a festival. Blankets and Wine. But I would go so far as to say that it is not I would not put the stamp of festival on it. Why? Because there's so much more that goes into a festival. Now there's other people coming and organizing events which don't even end up happening, but terming them as festivals. That alone should show how much lack of information there is in the industry. And these are the things that are poisoning and bringing it down. because you'll talk about respecting the artists, but if the conception that goes around, and this is not just conception of say fans, if people in the industry think that one day someone can wake up and declare themselves an artist professionally, then what is the industry? Because every industry has processes.
Kwani, what was this Willie guy doing before he proclaimed himself?
You see, he's a radio personality. He's a
radio guy,
guy.
He was the host of 10 over 10, this popular citizen show. He still is, and you see, I'm not just pointing out Willis Raburu. I'm pointing out a bigger issue. He's been able to do what he's doing right now because the industry works in that way, and that working is what is faulty. And if you really dig into the root of the fault of the way the industry is working, it is basically a lack of information. And that is, I think, if we're able to cure that in quotes, then we'll have a proper working industry. Because, as again we've said, knowledge is power. Yeah.
Now, my friend, I feel like I've just got off a big lecture.
Yeah, people out there, you've heard, man. Words of advice, man. Wisdom.
It's very frustrating, Mari.
Yeah.
When you know, for example, you really know. You know, this. I think this is a problem as a country.
Yeah.
Because if you look at it, we've been conditioned to think that there is a system that is not supposed to be questioned. You know. For example, if you subscribe to the classic belief of OGs, you know, OGs must be respected. I even don't know how that shit is selling anyway. Like, what's the problem? Why do you have to pick a problem? Anyway, that's beside the consciousness stuff, eh? Because we should be promoting, I think, socially positive. We should be pushing around positive vibes, eh? I think if negative vibe exists, it should not come from you. Then we would understand even the issues of how the marketing lets us down. For example, the government has so many utilities that it gives for Kawasani, especially, for example, you know that, right? So, for example, now that they've had this kind of problem, instead of ranting on social media na kuboeka na his story, you see, there is authorities that are supposed to deal with such an issue. Because I think this is an actual problem, you see. That it needs to be, if at all you subscribe to that, then system as
a recurring problem.
Yes, it's going to be a recurring problem, actually.
We'd say, like, haven't you had cases of artists saying they're not getting paid for their shows?
A lot.
As we are even the debacle that will be Narok.
Even one of our, should I say OGs, quotes, Yashinsky even put it in a song. Talking, there's somewhere he says, like, asijui was kama mlipi wasimwite show. If such an artist can be talking about that kind of scenario,
but Mary, it even happens all the time. Even 50 Cent will say, don't fuck with my hustle.
That's what I say. It's not so much that these things don't happen in the broader industry. It is the level at which these things happen. Because you'll find that if being in the game, I'm sure you know, there's proper, like, you're likely to find a lot of cons and people trying to rip you off for your money. And the higher you go, the more advanced those cons get.
But then the advancements are so subliminal that you would fight to be conned. You know?
There's if we're talking about fraud, we know of it is in the public domain knowledge. We know of big artists who've been ripped off of their work, and say Akina MJ, Akina the Linkin Park lead singer at one point was in a documentary.
Like
TLC. These things are there in the industry, but the level at which they happen elsewhere is on a grander scale. It is not because of people not doing their work or not having done their, say, time, so to speak. It is more because there's other structures that have been set up that people have taken advantage of and used them to, say, wrongly rip off artists. Now, coming back to the local scene, we cannot compete internationally when we do not understand what needs to happen so that we get to the level at which people are being ripped off of billions. Yeah? If we are dealing with, say, I think part of the reason why our industry has had so much time to grow but hasn't grown is because the information of the processes of the industry has been neglected, so that there are people in the industry who are not professionals, or someone can just come in and play the role of a professional and be able to fit in. You see, there are professionals who are out there again, and I'm just trying to bring the point to life. Out there, you'll find the people who, say, are pulling stunts like that are actually people who have been in the industry for years and have understood it so well. They know how to take advantage of it. They know the loopholes. But you can't have loopholes when there's no structure to have loopholes. Loopholes essentially speaks of an established structure with holes in it. But if there's no structure, then there cannot be loopholes.
So right now, the flat earth.
Basically, it would have been better for any artists out there to consult with Muik or Delios Creative for advice, man, because we are here to help you guys out there. Could end up into issues, we are very happy. Niggas complaining instead of performing,
We are very happy to give you hookups to the plugs.
We have, as we can plan those things, even those events, those guys who call themselves 254.
And I think part of the reason why we
comprehensive planning.
Part
Any
of the
last
reason,
words, guys, man?
I think I'll finish up with part of the reason why we feel the need to share this information. And maybe elsewhere you'd pay to get this information, but we share it for free. It's because we are willing to work with any artist who is serious about taking up a music career. And
just ask, comment down there. We'll break it down for you.
So reach out to us.
Any last words, Shaman?
Wagwan, what was his soundbite?
For sure.
This soundbite, sijaona mtu akiniambia hawajaizipata. So me assume ziko online. Kaka mtu hajaipata niambie.
Yes, from the second lockdown to Kim's hologram birthday present. Some crazy shit, man.
Hiyo joke labda uongeleje. I don't keep up with the Kardashians.
Tu ni kuweka tu. This is what is currently happening out there. Freaky shit, man. There you have it, man. Gatekeepers.
Wait. You said hologram. I'd like to see that because I've heard that the so-called socialites and celebrities are used to introduce new technology to the general population, just so that they don't get shocked when it's being deployed amongst them. So guys should be looking out for hologram. Maybe the iPhone 15 will have holograms. You know, you call someone and it just pops up.
Can't
I
wait.
don't know, but I think I saw at one point there was after MJ had passed on.
Yeah.
There was a show where his hologram performed. Like they made a
hologram.
an event.
You see, that's crazy. Because
We're waiting for a hologram of Isra.
I interact a lot with conspiracy
That would be
theories.
crazy. Yeah.
And they were saying, one of them was saying that probably the planes that were used were holograms.
Planes for
9/11.
Story for another story. Gatekeepers Musically Speaking Podcast, GKMSP, Season 2, Episode 10, premiering Tuesday, 9 p.m. Verbal Vayne in the vicinity, Mary in a moment, Shaman in the sector. GKMSP, booyaka, booyaka, booyaka.